Hi everyone, welcome to the Millionaire Purpose Discovery Program. My name is Blessing Theophilus Israel. Now today I'm really excited because I'm going to be speaking with Barry Mitchell. Barry, my goodness, he's had over 40 years experience, sales experience, and 20 years of financial experience.
Sure.
And Barry is also a public speaker.
Yes.
So Barry, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Barry, please just look into the camera and tell our students who you are and what you do, please.
Well, as you know, my name is Barry, and fortunately or unfortunately, I don't have any hard luck stories to tell you. I had a wonderful childhood. I have two brothers. We're a very close family. I was brought up in a council flat in the London Borough of Stoke Newington, which after a few years merged into the London Borough of Hackney. And my father worked in a factory and my mother was a stay-at-home housewife and mother. And we never had much money, but as children we never felt that we went without anyway. So I just had a fabulous childhood. But one of the things that I did realise in later life that I was unaware of at that time is neither I nor my family understood money. We really didn't understand money. And also there was a kind of an acceptance. You know, people like that, whoever that is, they're the sort of people that have money.
Sure.
But people like us, we're not the sort of people that have money. And so it was almost an acceptance of that situation. At that time, that was my reality. And it took many, many years before I realized that actually that's not true. That if we all realize our potential, we can all be wealthy in different ways. And that was a huge realization to become aware of.
Sure. Barry, you've spoken about, finances and how we don't always have to be, poor, because if you work hard and if you find the means of making,
Sure.
money, you can actually get out,
Sure.
of poverty. So would you say that's related to your purpose in terms of maybe financially educating people, or what would you say really is your main purpose in life?
Well, it's a really good question. Interestingly, when I was at school and as a teenager, I always knew that I was going to be a teacher.
Okay.
And I was going to teach maths and English. They were my subjects and that's what I was going to do. However, when it came to actually making the decision, I thought to myself, hang on a minute, there's no money in that. And so I kind of thought again. And in actual fact, I left school not having the faintest idea what I wanted to do. Fortunately, at that time, my parents had a small shop, a tobacconist confectionery, a small shop just in Chesham, outside Amersham. And what we decided is I would work there until I worked out what it is I want to do for the rest of my life. To be honest, I'm still trying to work out what I want to do for the rest of my life. But that's when I found out that I actually had a talent of talking to people. And in those days, my generation was a very different generation. And at 18 years of age, I just regarded myself as a kid. I was just a kid. And I couldn't believe that I could actually affect the way real adults would actually spend their money. And in some peculiar way, that seemed also quite empowering. I could actually influence how real adults spent their money. So that experience then put me on a road to salesmanship. And I've done every type of selling. I've been in retail, I've been in wholesale. The most difficult type of selling is direct selling. And I have to say that in direct selling, I was the notorious double glazing salesman. There was only two reasons I ever left a house. Either I had a signed contract with a 20% deposit, or they physically picked me up by the scruff of the neck and threw me out. They were the only reasons why I left. And one day, and I was successful, I was doing really well. However, after about a year after doing that, it suddenly dawned on me, because I'm selling in that particular way, I was only ever going to sell to that type of person. To other people, I would never be successful selling to them. And it suddenly dawned on me, why don't I be true to myself? Why don't I sell professionally? And if I sell correctly and professionally, I will sell to those people. I'll never be able to sell to those people because they need to be sold to. And it was literally throwing a switch, but I learned a lot about myself at that time. and I became professional, and rather than lose business because I changed the way I was doing things, I actually did far more business, and within that there was a great learning, and that is, whatever you choose to do, be authentic. Be authentically you, and find out how the authentic you can overcome the challenges that we all face. Everybody faces challenges, but by being authentically you, you will overcome those challenges, and you can become the successful person that you are actually destined to be.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that. So Barry, you already started alluding to the challenges.
Yes.
And that's my next question. You've had 40 years of sales experience.
Yes.
20 years of financial experience.
Yes.
You've spoken to over 4,000 people around the world.
You missed out a zero. It's over 40,000.
40,000,
Yes.
My goodness.
But what's a zero between friends? Eh?
So my question is, what kind of challenges have you had to overcome to get to the place where you are now?
No, all sorts of challenges. I've gone through recessions. I've been to the brink and back. So I've had the good times and the bad times. I've looked at bankruptcy in the face and said goodbye to it. And I've had the good times as well. But I think that number one, don't be a quitter. Okay. Understand what is failure. Failure is only when you give up, when you stop trying. But if you keep on trying, you keep on going. If this doesn't work, then you try this. And if this doesn't work, you try that. So always be prepared to change direction, but be authentically you. Stick to your morals, stick to your ethics, and be you, and find the way to make you, the person that is you, successful. But anybody who thinks there are no challenges is just a nonsense. And on the other end of the scale, we've all heard of film stars, of sports stars, multi-millionaires one day and they go bankrupt the next. Yeah. Why is it? Because number one, we all have our challenges. And number two, these people, they really don't understand money. And when it comes to money, one of the things we're always saying, it's not about how much you earn, it's about how much you keep that counts.
Sure, sure. It's about how much you keep.
Yes.
So Barry, what advice would you give to those who are watching this program? They're watching because they really want to find their purpose in life. And maybe some of them may want to become salespeople or get into finance and financially educate people. So just look in the camera, please, and give them advice as to how they can find their purpose in life, please.
It's easy to ask that question, but it's really, really difficult to answer it. So I'm going to start off by saying that anybody who goes through their childhood and their teenage years knowing exactly what it is they want to do for the rest of their lives, they are so fortunate. There's a young man that I know, he's about 30, 31. I've known him since he was about 5, and always he was obsessed by aircraft. That was the only thing that was in his mind, and now he's a pilot. And yes, he had to work hard, but he was a person who absolutely knew what he wanted and therefore knew what he needed to do in order to get there. But that is actually the minority. The majority of people have no idea what they want to do. So this idea of knowing your purpose, don't think to yourself, well, here I am 18 leaving school and I'm supposed to know my purpose. It's a journey. Yeah. It's a journey very often of years before you come to realize what your purpose is. And your purpose can be something tangible or not, but it can take years and years. So I think the best advice that I can give is don't drive yourself mad thinking, I have to have a purpose. What is my purpose? Just be true to yourself, decide what you want to do, work hard, work diligently, learn your art, and from there I take my principles in martial arts, which I'll talk about in a second if I may, but just do what you do, be good at it, be truthful to yourself. Understand that really to be successful, you have to be the ultimate butler. What do I mean by that? You have to be the ultimate Jeeves. Our purpose is to serve other people. And if we serve other people with love and with authenticity and with a sense of genuineness, if you help people get what they want, ultimately you will get what you want. If you're just focused on the money, the chances are you're not going to get it. You may be lucky, but there's no guarantee. But going back to the martial arts principles, martial arts has shaped my life as much as, excuse me, as much as my family and as much as my religious education. All of these things conspire to shape your life and help you to develop your principles and your ethics, etc. And yet I like the martial arts way of looking at it. And you very often read about the Shuhari school of karate or the Shuhari school of judo. Most instructors don't actually know what it means, but Shuhari is actually 3 words, not 1 word. It is Shu, Ha, and Ri. And when you understand those 3 words, they then expand into your whole life, not just into the world of martial arts. So Shu means learn your art. Always be a student, learn your art. Ha means master your art. And Ri means transcend your art. There comes a point when you have a level of knowledge, a level of experience, where you earn the right to transcend your art. But to put it in more simplistic terms, I had an aunt, actually she was a great aunt, and she always used to say to us, whatever you choose to do in life, be the best. Wow. If you're going to be a road sweeper, be the best road sweeper. It doesn't matter what you want to do, as long as it's honest and it's truthful, whatever you're going to do, just be the best. And that's always stuck in my mind.
Sure.
And so what with the way my aunts taught me and what with the way my parents teach me and what with the way of martial arts and what that teaches, I kind of feel that it's shaped me to become the person that I am right now. But who knows what I'll be later on, because I'm still growing, I'm still developing, I'm still a student, and I'm still learning, and I'm still trying to work out what I want to do when I grow up.
Barry, thank you very much.
Okay.
Is there any final thing you want to share with our students who are undertaking this program?
Yes, just a few things. Unfortunately, number one, we live in an age of gratification. Everybody wants whatever it is they want, and they want it now. But actually, the things worth having, they take time. So you have to learn to be patient. I have people who want to change their financial life. They come to me, a month later their financial life is exactly the same, and therefore they leave. And I've often had the conversation, do you know what, it's taken you 10, 15, 20 years to get to this point in your financial life, and yet you want to change it in a month.
Yeah.
So don't be impatient, come away from this age of gratification and work and be successful at what you wish to do and what you wish to achieve. The other thing is, in life, when you're dealing with other people, is a fundamental principle of mine: never tell people your problems, only ever tell people their problems. And again, it goes back to this idea of serving. I remember many years ago, there was a really bad salesman, and they said, please buy this, please place this order with me now, because we've got an internal competition, and if I get your order, I'll win the competition. And of course, I didn't give them the order. Never tell people your problems, only ever tell people their problems. She should have told me why I need to be ordering this now, sure, not to resolve her problems. So these are sort of some of the principles. And I think finally, one of the things that I've always brought up my children to believe is that we have a duty, we have an obligation to make other people feel good about themselves. And if that's your driving force, I believe with everything else, the right study, the right approach, you will be successful.
Excellent. Make other people feel good about themselves.
It's a duty.
Oh, Barry, you've made me feel so good about myself.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.